Hey y'all, and welcome to Politibrawl. My name is Brian, and the mainstream media will do anything and everything that they can to downplay the fact that there was a brazen, bold, middle-of-the-day attempt on Donald Trump's life. They'll do anything to downplay it, and it's horrifically disgusting. But before we get into the video, I want to give a quick shout out to our amazing sponsor, Colonial Metals Group. They literally have the cure to fight inflation, but more on that later. As for now, let's get back to the video.
Here's Ari Melber's reaction to the last 96 hours. Watch.
Here's how the New York Times put it. On the first night of this convention, Trump was his own biggest prop. He entered the VIP box, a large white bandage on his injured right ear, an image for political mobilization, a spectacle for this candidate who we know is, by his own admission, obsessed with assorted spectacles.
So, Joe, the ear bandage was a spectacle. I don't know. I'm reviewing my notes right now. I think it was because he was shot in the ear and he needed a bandage. It's medical.
You hear the way Ari Melber put that? His injured right ear. Injured, to your point. A bullet went through the ear, and he's wearing a bandage because he lost part of the ear. We are 3 days since this man nearly got his head blown off, only because he turned his head a little bit more to read some notes that were given to him on a screen around immigration. Is he alive right now? And MSNBC, as sick as they are, and Ari Melber, as sick as he is, go to hell, Ari Melber, quite frankly, because to say something like that, it's a prop? Give me a break. Show any sort of human dignity in this moment, and he couldn't do that, as could many on that network, quite frankly.
If I could just interject for a second, what I noticed, and look, we're going to beat up the Democrats for their response to a lot of stuff, but I felt at least the politicians, by and large, had decent responses to the attempted assassination of Trump. I found the media, whether it was Stephanopoulos and Raditz or all of MSNBC. I mean, look what MSNBC was so scared of what Scarborough and Mika would do. They kept them off the air. Who are these people? How have they gotten to this point where they're not even acting in any humanity anymore?
You mentioned Stephanopoulos and Raditz. Let's review it for the audience, right? Stephanopoulos basically blamed Donald Trump, victim blamed him, because his rhetoric is what bought somebody to try to assassinate him. And then Martha Raditz is like, yeah, and remember January 6th? Guys, the fact that this is being kind of blown past the way it is, the questions that journalists should be asking right now is, how did a 20-year-old get on that roof with line of sight to the former president of the United States, likely future president of the United States, from 130 yards out? I don't know how many people have told me, because I'm not a firearms guy, that that's like a 2-foot putt to make that shot, and it was, unless he turned his head. The fact that we're not asking questions more, not we, but other people that purport to be in media aren't asking, how did this happen? Why didn't the Secret Service fire back when you had the shooter in your sights for all of that time? And instead, you waited for him to shoot? How did he get on that roof? That was a staging place, apparently, below him, and yet no one did anything. Those are the questions journalists should be asking, and not any of this stuff around. Well, is the bandage a prop?
You don't hate journalists enough. A good journalist is like a good lawyer, asking the right questions, investigating, looking for the clues, trying to get to the truth of the matter, and trying to look for the loopholes and the problems. That is what a good journalist is supposed to do. And the ones there on Fox News, you saw them asking the right questions. That's what a good press is supposed to do. We used to have a good press in this country. Now, it was a golden age at that time. The press from about the Korean War till until the Tet Offensive of '68. There was about a 20-year golden era where the press was unbiased, told you the simple truth, said this is what's happening in the world, this is what's going on, and these are the questions that we're asking our politicians. Y'all, times are rough. Record inflation is still not under control. We have a president who doesn't know what planet he's on, and the Federal Reserve continues to make dumb decision after dumb decision after dumb decision. You can gamble on Wall Street all you want, but if you want to diversify and protect your wealth, you need to look into my friends over at Colonial Metals Group. These amazing experts understand how to keep your wealth safe and protected from the volatility of our current market. And there's even a great deal for first-time accounts. Free gold and silver-backed IRA accounts, insurance on whatever precious metals you happen to buy for 5 years, up to $7,500 worth of silver, and a nice safe for you to keep all this good stuff in. So go take a look at their website, link in the description below, or call the phone number below so you can talk personally to Paul Stone, CEO, and his amazing team of experts to protect your wealth today. However, beyond that point, journalism has been a rather muddy business. Theodore Roosevelt would call journalists muckrakers because, unfortunately, from the days of the original movable type printing press until 1776 and even until World War II, the press had one job: stir up controversy. It has been this bad since the dawn of time. I'm willing to bet the cavemen talked bad about the other tribes in their wall paintings and their sketch marks onto the cave walls. This is something that we do as humans, and it's understandable. So having a mainstream media just looking the other way and saying something stupid is par for the course. And that's the sad part. And the reason why it used to be in the past, it's because it made money. All right? You stir up controversy, people go, ooh, I need you as my news source. Here's money. I will pay for your product. Now it is a propaganda machine designed to basically tell you, don't believe your lying eyes. What we currently have for the mainstream media, and the biggest irony is the farther left you go, the more you think that the media is actually secretly right-winged. It's not. People who say that are just not unserious people. The media, what it wants to do is feed into the dominant class. The media is part of the ruling class, and they've realized throughout history that that is the sort of, that's the worst part of our history. Our history is class struggle. It's not between the rich and the poor. That's where Marx got it wrong. It is about the dominant class and the ruling class vying for power. What the ruling class has figured out is if you feed into the dominant class, if you kind of just give them what they want, they'll never revolt. The dominant class in the United States used to be white Anglo-Saxon Protestants. It is now rich white liberals. And it's only been this way for the past 10 years, but it's been about 30, 40 years in the making. The problem is that pipeline is shut off. The kids don't believe what the weird adults are thinking because the mainstream media doesn't apply to them anymore. We don't get our news from our televisions. We get our news from our phones. We get it from our computers. We get it from YouTube. We get it from Facebook. We get it from Twitter. And that means that the people who run the mainstream media don't really have a grip on the kids. They've lost Gen Z. They're currently starting to lose millennials. But they still have Gen X. They still have the boomers. They think that that's going to get them over the finish line this year. I hope it won't. Because you have an unempathetic, deeply weird mainstream media that just keeps lying about the truth. They refuse to ask the right questions. For instance, how did that kid get on the roof? They're not asking that. They're asking, why does Trump have a bandage over his ear? Well, funnily enough, I had the exact same question. Why did you change your profile pic in 2020? All right? It's the same reason. It's to show solidarity. And they don't understand it. Despite the fact that they do it themselves, they can't fathom that conservatives will stand with each other, that they'll stand up for each other, because they fundamentally don't understand who we are. And the mainstream media will continue to feed them the slop until the last airing of their channels, until the last newspaper is printed. They are not moving from this mountain. They are fighting on this hill, and I think that's their last battle. I certainly hope it is. Folks, my name is Brian. Hope you enjoyed this segment here on Politobrawl. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Catch you on the next one, and until then, y'all have a good one.